All right, great to have you back. Today we're going to take a look at an essential exercise and one that you should incorporate into your overall practice routine. It's the chromatic scale. Now, if you study classical guitar, you'll learn an E chromatic scale in 3 octaves. Let's start there. You'll see that you can see that we have open strings. So there's 3 octave chromatic scale, and then descending. Okay, why chromatic scales? Chromatic scales are, first of all, fantastic for balancing your hand. Guitar players are notorious for having a weak baby finger. Chromatic scales do not let you get away with fiddling around with your, like alternate fingerings that only use your fingers 1, 2, and 3. You've got to use that baby finger, so it's great for that. It's also a great exercise to teach you how the guitar is tuned. For instance, if we take a look at this simple chromatic scale in open position, when we get to string 3, we only play 3 frets because we don't want to repeat any notes, right? So we're at a B flat here. The next note is going to be a B. That's the way the guitar is tuned. It's that second string is tuned differently. So we have G, G sharp, A sharp, B. Right? And another excellent thing with chromatic scales is they teach you how to shift, right? So I played my baby finger here. I look at my fretboard and I shift to position 5 with my first finger. Look at the fretboard, shift to position 9. And the same thing on the way back down. Shift. Right, and now you should notice as well that my fingers aren't doing this, right? They're not flying all over the place. The idea is that your hand it stays parallel to the string, parallel to the fretboard. See my hand position, and I'm blocking as I come down. I put all 4 fingers down. It's an excellent exercise which helps you to stay aligned with the fretboard. Okay, you get the idea there, right? So you align yourself with the fretboard, do a 3 octave scale that starts down here. But now let's switch that up a little bit. Let's shift on the bottom string. Right, and now we have to move back and back and back, and then straight across. We're playing only each one of the notes, right? Let's take that one more time. Shift. Position 3, position 2, straight across because of the change in tuning. First fret, 5, 9. And then we go down the same way. All right. That's another variation of the chromatic scale. I'm going to give you one more. Let's get away from E and just start it on A. And I find these really, really helpful as exercises. They're killer. So in each, I'll show you what I'm getting at. So we have to, right now I'm on a C. the next note I need is the C sharp, right? So I have to move back there. But in order to stay within a position, I'm going to move back up to here with the same finger. The important thing is that you're not missing any notes, right? Now, this is a very neglected scale. So as you can see, I have to make up the one note in each case as I'm traveling sort of more vertically, right? Let's now make up that same note with the baby finger. Instead of our first, straight across. Right, and let's swing it this time. The idea. So this is more of a vertical approach to the chromatic scale. So we're going to stop at those three. The first one, as we shift. And then we shift. That was shifting on the first string, and then we shift on the bottom string, and we're crossing, ending up in the same place as we were before. We're going to go down the same way. Okay, good. And then also in a more vertical way. Moving that, compensating for the tuning with finger one, and then compensating with baby finger. Okay, does that make sense? Great exercises. There are lots more that you can do. I mean, if you're really crazy about this, you can compensate with your two. Or your three. You get the idea, right? These are really complete exercises, and as I said at the top, they will help balance your hand. They'll get your wrist in the right position to be parallel with the fretboard. One overall problem that a lot of guitar players have is a wrist position that does this, and your poor baby finger ends up out, disadvantaged because it's too far away from the fretboard. And not only is it short, but now it has to travel further than the rest of the strings. It's just not fair. It's not democratic. So it forces you to turn that wrist in a little bit and get the baby finger presented correctly, and also your hand should be parallel with the fretboard and with the string you're playing. Your hand should essentially, assume a position like this, right? Where you put it down on the fretboard and it just fits. And the same thing when you're closing, believe it or not, when you're closing down the and moving up, up the fretboard, your hand will naturally spread as you move down here, and it'll naturally close as you move up here. Believe it or not, I don't know how it does that, but physiologically it does. Okay, so that's it. An exercise. Add that to your repertoire. Add chromatic scales to your repertoire. We've done thirds, and we've done these triads, right? And now I think we've done we've done a few other things. Check them out. Check the videos out, and build a repertoire of of a practice routine. Have 3, 4, 5, 6 different elements in your practice routine for that you do every time you sit down at a session for months and months and months, right? And then add something new and maybe get rid of one that now you're feeling really confident with. Uh, so I'm just emphasizing practice routine. If you want to move ahead, uh, help your hands out, right? Get them doing things that that will make it easier for them, right? Don't try to take a technique that you started with, that you didn't really think about. I'm telling you this from experience, and try to take that technique to stuff that's way harder and more difficult than your technique can handle. So this is technique builders, isn't it? Okay, that's it for today. Like, subscribe, would really appreciate it. Comments are much appreciated as well, because I'm just looking at a camera lens, as you probably well know. And I hope that helps you out. Make sure you swing these as well, ba da ba da ba da ba, right? Don't just play in solid eighths all the time. Get used to swinging. Swinging is a whole different trip, right? Try that out with all of your exercises. Okay, and we'll see you again real soon.